Today's video is all about the EFL, which kicks off in just a few days. Live games throughout the season on Sky Sports. I'm Ali Maxwell. I've got my Not the Top 20 podcast co-host George with me. We've also got the man, the myth, the Bolton Wanderers fan, Thogden, on the channel today. And it's championship predictions, crystal ball time, automatic promotion picks, playoff winners, relegation picks, best transfer, worst transfer. We're going to see if we can pick out the golden boot, and then a wildcard prediction at the end, fitting for the most unpredictable league in the world. You guys have a tough task today. Theo, kick us off with the two teams you think will win automatic promotion to the Premier League from the Championship.
First of all, thanks for having me on. Bit of Championship talk, can't beat it. My first place is Leicester City. My second, automatic, it's Middlesbrough, which is a big, cool, non-parachute club going up for the first time since the 2021 season with Leeds Bielsa's team. I'm excited by Leicester, a lot of new signings. The new manager, Enzo Fresca, I'm excited by him as well. You know, being part of Pep's first team staff at Manchester City and his history in Italy, and starting his career at West Brom as a player. Now he's back in the East Midlands to restart his managerial career. So I'm excited by Leicester and Borough, simple as that.
Yeah, I've got two other teams. Southampton, who I think look the best set to me to go straight back up. You know, they appointed Jason Wilcox as director of football early in the summer, brought in Russell Martin, who's a manager that I think we're now going to see with an elite squad for the level. We're going to see his football really come up and be really impressive. They're going to lose Ward-Prowse, they're going to lose Lavia, yes, but I think we saw in the players they've already brought in January, their recruitment is fairly decent. They're going to get the likes of Adam Armstrong, Che Adams, two great championship players. Loanees like Nathan Teller looks like he's coming back if he doesn't go back to Burnley. So I'm positive about them. And then Sunderland, who at the moment, they still have Jack Clark, they've still got Patrick Roberts, they've still got the players Dan Neil, who were so important to them last season, got into the playoffs last season, first season back at the level, despite missing out on Ross Stewart for the majority of the campaign, who was injured. He's injured until September, which could be a good thing, because he'll stay there. Semedo, the new striker, looks impressive. Loads of young talent, loads of young players. Mowbray, the man to take them up back to the Premier League.
Big call.
Yeah.
Leicester and Middlesbrough, Southampton and Sunderland so far. What about a playoff winner, a team that maybe wouldn't hit the ground running, but could peak late, could head into the playoffs in form and get that last promotion spot?
Yeah, I must mention I've got Leeds third, but I don't have them to get promoted. It might take a few seasons like it did last time. I've got Southampton. You mentioned them to potentially win the league, and I think they've got the players. They're going to get a lot of investment from selling Lavia and Ward-Prowse, maybe upwards of 100 million for both of them players. And I'm pretty sure with their recruitment team, they'll be able to reinvest, if not before September the 1st, into the January transfer window. And if they do hold on to the likes of Bella Kotchap and other quality players that they had from last season, I think they're going to be pretty solid to get promoted. Che Adams as well, we saw how well he did at Birmingham before. What about you? Are we going different again?
Yeah, it was good that you mentioned Leeds there, because Leeds fans aren't going to be happy watching this.
No, they're not.
I've got Ipswich Town going up, which is,
Wow.
you mentioned a big call earlier. Yeah, they
Back
finished
to back.
second in League One last season. I think in any normal League One campaign, they would have won the league. They're one of the most impressive teams to watch that I've ever seen at that level, I must say. And in Kieran McKenna, they've got a manager that a lot of people expect that Michael Carrick will probably be the next Manchester United manager in a few years' time. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the other Mourinho assistant in Kieran McKenna, because he's got it. Like whatever it is, he's got it. And there's continuity in terms of Town this season. It's mainly the same group of players they had in the last campaign who was so impressive. George Hurst came in January, made a massive difference. They brought him on a permanent. I think he'll score a lot of goals. Amari Hutchinson, one of the few additions they've made on loan from Chelsea. They're just a really slick side, and I think they will make the step up very comfortably. And if they do end up in the top six, I think they'll have it about them to maintain that momentum and get back to the Premier League. So
Really?
Premier League returns for Sunderland and Ipswich.
Be amazing. It'd be like 2000, 2001 all over again. Look, guys, we've got to go down to the bottom of the division now. Who do you think, as the season kicks off in a few days' time, is in concerning shape? 3 teams to go down.
I'm really worried about Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham and QPR. That's my 3 to get relegated, which means Cardiff and the likes of Plymouth will stay up with the skin of their teeth. I'm most worried about Sheffield Wednesday. After seeing them get promoted and win in the playoffs the way they did, it was incredible. But then to go and sack their manager, hire Zisco, I don't know what's going on there. Only one signing with Reece James from Blackpool, I believe it was. That's not enough business. I've even spoken to one of the players at the club, and he's just very worried about the situation. I think they're going to go straight down unless they really spend some money. With Rotherham, they're not spending enough. They are a pretty stable club. They've kept their core. I just think it's such a competitive championship year. It's going to be tough for them. With QPR, they've lost their majority shareholder. They've lost their director of football, their captain, club captain in Johansson. I'm really worried about the situation there. Gareth Ainsworth, does he have the style of play to fit the players that he has? I'm unsure. So that's my 3 to go down.
Yeah, I agree with you on 2 of them. I think Wednesday looked to me like they're likely to go down. They need to bring in massive reinforcements. I think Ashley Fletcher signed yesterday, the second signing, who again isn't really the requisite quality that I think they need up at the top end of the pitch. I've got Cardiff going down as well. A new manager who's come in Bulut, who I don't know a great deal about. I know that their fans are very excited about Aaron Ramsey coming in, understandably so. Like, I'm not going to dampen their excitement about that at all. But I think we've got to see a lot for him to expect that he's going to be at the level that he used to be at. Carlin Grant's a decent signing as well, but it doesn't feel like a particularly secure club to me. 3 managers last season, a manager who's come in now who's never managed more than 69 games at a club. And I just wonder if we're going to see that churn continue. Then QPR, for the reasons you mentioned. I think Ainsworth as a manager that I've got a lot of respect for, but I'm not sure he is the man to get the best out of Ilias Chair, Taylor Richards, Willock. I expected to see him bring in loads of players that would suit his style. We haven't seen that, and it just feels like a little bit of a mess to me right now. And you have to remember, they come into this season off the back of 7 months of abhorrent form last season too.
Absolutely insane situation at QPR, from being top of the championship at one point in October, less than a year later, heading into the season with such a sense of panic and impending doom. So it's up to Gareth Ainsworth to do what he did very well at Wycombe, which is outperform pre-season expectations. Look, the summer's been spent trawling the rumour mill for transfers and enjoying done deals when they've been made. Aaron Ramsey will be playing in the Championship this year for Cardiff. I want to know what these guys think has been the best piece of transfer business this summer.
Yeah, good question. I think if Leicester do land Mavididi, I think it will be the best transfer. But off the current confirmed deals, it has to be Ellis Sims at Coventry. I was very worried about what was going to happen when Gyökeres leaves. But to replace him and spend the cash that they got from Sporting on someone that's confirmed to score goals. He's got 9 contributions in 14 starts last year for Sunderland. And to see Ellis Sims frontline in Coventry, I think he can push them to get in a top 6 finish. They've got a great manager who loves the club. They've still got Gus Harmer, as you mentioned, next year, 1 more year potentially. And I think they need to make the most of it. So Ellis Sims could be looking at 20 plus goals.
Yeah, I agree with that. But for me, it's, the old adage, never fall in love with a loanee. As a Bolton fan, you know that, with James Chaffin and Conor Bradley last season. Plymouth Argyle fans thought they had 1 season of Barley Mumba. That was going to be it. Thinking he was going to go back to Norwich. He signed for £1 million, and that feels like a bargain to me.
What a signing.
A player who was the attacking, played on both flanks last season as a wing-back. 6 goals, 7 assists, scored 2 massive goals for Argyle against Ipswich in games that basically won them the title, if you look back at it too. I'm amazed Norwich have let him go. I know they've got Max Aarons there, but I feel like he is, at 21, got massive potential, and he knows the club, he loves the fans. I can't believe they managed to get this one over the line, and neither can the Argyle fans. Yeah, exactly.
What about a transfer deal done this summer that's made you question the approach of the club? Is there anything that just hasn't quite passed the sniff test for you, George?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be careful here because Leicester fans weren't happy on Twitter when I said this at the time, but I think the Conor Coady deal is one that I just don't really like. I'm not a massive fan of teams coming down from the Premier League, going out and spending Premier League fees, Premier League wages on players that are on a downward trajectory in their terms of their career. I know Cody's only 30, but a 2-year deal and £8 million, there's not much there in terms of resale value. If you look at his time, he lost his place at Wolves, who were struggling in the Premier League. Went to Everton last season, struggled there, and they chose not to take on their option. So you've got 2 teams there, the bottom end of the Premier League, not particularly keen on taking him on. I know he's great in the dressing room. I know Gareth Southgate picks him in his England squads to be that voice in the dressing room and the cheerleader, but to me, this isn't the normal recruitment model that we see teams who do well going back up to the Premier League undertake. It reminds me a little bit of Stoke a few years ago, a little bit of Sunderland a few years ago, where you've got to accept that you're in the Championship, go out, look to Europe, look for young players you can then bring on into their top flight careers.
Bold prediction, but you kind of understand more broadly what George is saying. What hasn't quite fit your eye?
The player for me I'm going for is Jake Livermore. Gone from West Brom to Watford. I'm not overly excited by Watford. I haven't got them to even finish in the playoffs. And I do question this transfer. I've seen enough from West Brom fans saying how much he loses the ball and how much they don't believe in him in their midfield. And they did well to get him off to another competitor club, a rival in the Championship, going for playoff spots. And I think it'll be best for West Brom that they've let him go.
Joins a former manager in Valerian Ismail, who at least knows what he's getting from Livermore. You'd hope anyway. You'd think. Okay, very quick. Golden Boot winner this season.
it's hard to go against Chukwuemeka, and I've got them to be automatic spots. So I think he's going to reach 30 goals.
Back to back would be sensational. George, what about you?
Ella Sims for me, Theo's best signing. Scored 7 in a short spell at Sunderland last season. Basically a goal every other 90. He's a player who replaces Gyökeres, scored 17 and 21 in the last 2 seasons. If Harmer stays, I think he should have a really good season playing. He'll pay £8 million commentary spent on him. He's going to be getting a lot of minutes.
Right, this is a serious business, and all the predictions so far have been very serious and important. Now for a little bit of fun, let's get funky. It's the most unpredictable league in the world, the Championship. Everyone knows that. So, Theo, what is something unpredictable that will happen this season in the Champ?
A lot of Championship fans are not going to be happy that I say this, but by Christmas, I reckon VAR is going to be hitting the English second division. They're going to make an announcement before Christmas. That's my statement.
The FA are going to have to come out and say, we need you to be a referee in order for that. The amount of refs I need at Stockley Park.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to predict the least predictable thing possible. The thing that cannot happen. Neil Warnock.
Not again.
Going to get funky with Neil Warnock. Going to retire again during the season. Yeah, he's going to be there. Huddersfield are going to be 19th in December, and he's going to say, do you know what? I don't fancy this anymore.
74-year-old Neil Warnock, Huddersfield manager, the greatest manager in Championship history, takes charge of Huddersfield this season.
Coming out of retirement next season.
Guys, get involved in the comments below. We want your thoughts on everything we've discussed, from promotion winners, relegation winners, all the transfer stuff, Golden Boot. We'll come back at the end of May and we'll be able to crown someone king of the comments predicting the Championship season, which is just days away, and you can watch live games throughout the season on Sky Sports. Thanks to George, thanks to Theo, and thanks for watching.